When I was young, I had a dream. Most of my waking seconds were devoted to the pursuit of art. I would carry a sketchbook with me wherever I was and was constantly testing out new techniques in various mediums. My favorite ended up being watercolors. I loved the process of taking a blank page or canvas and choosing the colors that would perfectly represent what I felt inside and hoped to convey through each unique piece. That all ended when I realized two things. One, that to succeed at art and become a true artist who earned a living from his work, I would need to be fantastic. And two, that I would never be fantastic. My work was acceptable, but definitely not something that would end up being paid for. I felt discouraged. The one thing that I had devoted so much time to now felt like there was no purpose and that it was never going to work out for me. So I quit. It wasn't some easy fading out of focuses either. It was a hard stop. I went from drawing almost every day, and if I wasn't drawing, then I was thinking about what I would be drawing next, to never drawing anything more than a doodle in the margins of my notebooks. The magic had been stolen from me and was not going to come back. It was stolen by the ideas that I had heard, read, and watched about what it meant and took to be a good artist. I believed that there was no point to continuing a dream and a passion if I wasn't going to make it my life goal. I look back on that time with a sense of sadness and wonder where I would be today if I had continued with my passion for art. Possibly not a professional, but still loving the opportunity to express myself in that way. I look at the art I had created during that time and see no professional, but instead a passionate creator with a dream. To see that dream end up going nowhere in the field I had expected is quite saddening. Fortunately, however, I was able to use the things that I had learned during those years of combining colors, noticing perspectives, and figuring out the overall aesthetic I wanted to convey, and transfer all of that learning over to my new passions of photo and video work. Little did I know all those years ago that I would be interested in the art of photos and of film. Everything I learned has come in handy through my current work. None of it has been wasted, and most of it has been only through that time that I have learned these things. I have taken all of my knowledge that I gained through my various interests growing up and put them into what I now view as my calling. Whether this is my life calling, which I do believe it to be, making films, or it is yet another part of the puzzle that has guided my life, I refuse to make the same mistake I did when I was drawing. I shall not treat this as only valuable if I am making money with it, or have the potential to in the future. I love what I do, making art and displaying it for the world to see, the ability to express myself and to freely create. Even if I was not able to display it to the world, I would still make videos for myself, for the sheer delight of being able to make something. See, I got lost in the idea that to enjoy an art form I had to get paid for it. For it to have a lasting meaning, it must be seen. For me to continue to create, I had to get the approval and support of the public, through opinion and through the money that would enable my creation. I firmly now believe that it is imperative that every person who desires to create understands that it is not the people who view your work that give it meaning or give it value. If no one ever views your work, it's still an expression of your own feelings, a creative endeavor, and that is something to be applauded, by only yourself if need be. Sometimes the only person who needs to see what you created is yourself, to know what you had inside, to see it on the canvas, and to impress yourself. We live in an age where everything is shared on social media. Everything from a trip that your high school friend is on to an announcement of a wedding is posted and shared to social media, along with a constantly growing number of creators. People who create amazing pieces of art who once would have had to use an art gallery or print a book now have the ability to post their creations on social media and have an immediate reaction. This can be a fantastic tool for some people. Artists have amassed a startling number of fans in an incredibly short amount of time due to the powers of social media. A problem occurs, however, when someone who is just as passionate in creating fantastic work is overlooked due to the algorithm, lack of attention being brought to them, or inability to pay to be promoted. They can begin to feel, as I did, that their art is subpar or not worth creating and then quit because they feel like a failure of an artist. Do not let this happen. Whether you are viewed and promoted or not, Do not quit creating what makes you happy inside, what inspires you, and what makes you feel like you are fulfilling your dreams. The whole social media maze can be worked through by some, and some fall behind. Not due to the ability of their art, but because of the flaws of the system. Do not stop creating, do not stop making art, and do not quit on your dreams just because they aren't getting noticed. Your work has value even if it is never getting viewed and admired by the masses. Keep your dreams alive, even if they're locked in a box.